Hesitation is defeat. If you know where that quote's from, bro, you're a real one. If you don't, it's from the last boss of Sekiro, bro. And that quote's been stuck in my head since this morning for some reason. And it's been like crossing my mind throughout the day where I'm like, bro, that guy was like seriously on to something. It's like the only thing that really holds us back is, I would say, like over preparing, hesitating. Like wondering where to start and overthinking, making sure, wanting things to be perfect before you do it. And I know some people have this curse of, wanting to plan out everything before they do it. And it's like, I just feel like that takes double the time. It's like you're trying to focus on how you want this to play out. So you envision it exactly how you want it. And then when you go for it, you'll see that you're not a time, a future teller. You can't tell the future. That's what I'm trying to say. It's going to play out differently. There might be certain aspects, like if you guys have ever written music where you had the idea and then once you make it come to life, you're like, bro, that's exactly what I thought in my head before I wrote it. And if you ever done that, that is cool. But even with that, man, music, it's just the best writing just comes from just doing it, bro. If you start planning out the notes and what you want to hit, like it's going to just sound like, a robot or something. It's not going to have a feeling. And I don't know, man, it's just got me thinking about people who hold themselves back because they have ideas and aspirations to do things, to elevate their life or just to, express themselves. And, I think there's a lot of layers to that. Maybe it's, some people fear judgment or whatever. And I don't know, man. I just think it's all about just doing it. You won't know what the moment has until you just do it. Just do it. And then the next time you do it, it'll be better. That's just literally how everything works. Like the first time you shoot a basketball, you're probably not going to make it, but then, you miss every shot you can't take. I guess that's the vibe I'm going for, I suppose. But yeah, man, I was just thinking that because I know some people that they're holding themselves back, man. And when I think of times where I've been successful, be it in a business way, job interviews, presentations at school, playing live music, starting a project, having a conversation, talking to a girl, let's say, as well. It's just, you just feed into that moment and it just comes out the way it's supposed to come out. Yeah, you might make mistakes. You're most definitely going to make mistakes, like what is even perfect? You could listen to, like, what's the most top selling record of all time? I think it's Thriller by Michael Jackson. I'm sure there's people out there who don't like that record. And it's the most successful one of all time. Does that mean best? No, I guess that's a different rabbit hole. But you get what I'm saying? It's technically the mass majority agree it's a masterpiece. There's still people who dislike it. So no matter what you do, what I do, there's going to be people who dislike it. It doesn't really matter. I feel like it's always going to be split down the middle 50-50. And I think that's kind of how we see how the world works in general. Like there can be certain policies or certain social ideologies that almost sound like a given to one person, and then you meet someone who thinks the complete opposite. So there really isn't any right or wrong. The only wrong thing is not doing it, just holding yourself back, not being true to you, not expressing yourself, not doing what would come naturally to you in the moment. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's just got me thinking because, man, I know so many people where it's like, oh, if you could do anything, what would it be? And they're like, oh, I'd love to be an author. And it's like, well, hi, do it. Nothing's stopping you from doing it. I think sometimes people think the success from a thing determines its, if it's valuable or not, which I guess in a sense makes sense. But like anyone can be a poet. You just got to start writing poems. Anyone can be a guitarist. You just got to pick up guitar. Are people going to pay for it? No, but that doesn't really mean anything at the end of the day. That's like the ultimate goal is to live off your dreams, right? But I mean, you won't even know if that's possible unless you try it. You know what I mean? No one comes out of the gate perfect. And you know what's a curse, actually? Is when you come out of the gate better than you could come out later. So, for example, I remember this was years ago, and if you guys have listened to my other videos, I had a music project I was working on a few years ago, and it was going really good. I got very lucky with it. It was sick. But dude, the song that carried that project was the first song I released. That was the song that was like the overnight had like 100,000 streams. I'm like, bro, what happened? Whose ears did this go to? And it was on SoundCloud. I was like, bro, I need to put this on Spotify and make some pennies. And then on Spotify, that's the highest streamed one there too. And it was like, a little older by the time I got there. But, and then it was like every song after that it was fine, but it was just like in the shadow of this other one. It was like, dang, this one is still the top streamed one every month of mine. And these other ones are getting numbers, but it's like, bro, this one's just, and it's like, do I recapture that or do I just keep going? And I just decided to keep going just because the way that one came out was just in the moment. It just came to me. I heard the flow. I heard the instrumental. Boom. So I just kept replicating that process in the sense of, it was just in the moment. It was like, some people will vibe with this. Some people won't. It just is what it is. I'm making it as true to me. But it is kind of a curse when you come out banging right away and you can't, overshadow it in a way. I almost feel like it's better to, start slow, gain some momentum, and then blast off. You know what I mean? I guess a lot of groups are like that, though. Like right off the top of my head, like, I don't know, I'm thinking of the band Papa Roach just because they're coming to town here soon. And I think still their biggest song would probably be that Last Resort song, which I remember hearing when I was like a kid. Like, when did that come out? Like 2004 or something? Like, that's a pretty old song. Maybe even older than that. I don't know. And, I bet it's hype for them, but I bet it is interesting where it's like, dang, bro. We caught lightning in a bottle when we were super young and we still can't surpass this song, which, you're competing against yourself, which is the only thing you should technically probably compete with, I guess, right? Try to make yourself better and whatnot. I guess, either way, both are fine. I'm just saying, like, sometimes I feel like people wait to do a thing because they think the first thing they do is going to be the biggest, best thing. And it's like, that's rarely the case. Most of the time if you spend too much time on a thing, bro, and then you put it out there, it's like the world's not going to stop they're like, oh, we've been waiting our whole life for this guy to do something. It's like, nah, just do it. Just be you. Keep putting out your stuff. Don't hesitate. Just feel the moment out and just get it, bro. Just get it and see what happens. And plus, if it's genuine, the biggest success in my eyes is just you enjoy what you're doing. And I don't know, man. I feel like if you mean it, things will fall into place the way they should for you. If you're being real, like, yeah, maybe you're not going to be no Mr. Beast, but guess what? Mr. Beast's product is a product. It's not like a genuine thing. Do we even know really who this guy is? I mean, I'm sure he's done podcasts and whatnot, but you know what I mean? Like, he's not putting out like art or expressing himself. You know what I mean? And that's fine. I'm not throwing shade. Obviously, it's fine. The guy's making bank, bro. I walk into a Target, I see Lunchley's now. It's crazy. Killing it out there. It's also, side note, me and my brother, we actually tried a Feastable. We saw it at Fry's like a few weeks back. We tried a Feastable. We're like, bro, we gotta cop this Mr. Beast bar. And bro, not gonna lie, it was pretty good. It was pretty good, bro. That dark chocolate Feastable, pretty good, bro. He's killing it. But you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people, there's like two sides of the street, right? Some people want financial success. Some people want like that inner calm of doing what you love success, because this all ends and why not enjoy your time here? And then the ultimate is when those two merge. You're doing what you love and then you become financially, quote unquote, free. And that's everyone's dream. And I do think it's technically possible for anyone who's willing to do it, because I think the only thing that's really stops people or that divides those groups of people is, one, the person who did it, and the other person who didn't. And it's interesting, right? Because if you don't do it, it'll never happen. And if you do it, it's not guaranteed. So it still can technically be like you never did it, but at least you tried. You know what I mean? Does this sound sappy? It's just been on my mind, man. I guess, I don't know, just that hesitation aspect of it. And, I've been there. I've thought, like, sometimes I've really thought about a project and I would put together all the pieces and it would come to fruition. And dude, here's another curse. You don't even know if you'll enjoy the thing until you start doing it for a little bit. I've had projects where I really planned it out, really thought about it, tried to make it perfect. I was like, I have the vision, let's get it. And I started doing it, saw some success from it, and then I'm like, I don't even enjoy doing this actually. I think I just enjoyed making it, but I was like, I'm not really like attached to this at all. And it's probably because it had nothing to do with me in a way, in a sense. Like I was the one in the back grinding the gears to make it happen, but it wasn't anything I was like passionate about. But that's also a tricky thing, man. Like finding passion. It gets harder when you get older. Or I could just be in that phase where I don't know, just things aren't as appealing as they once were when I was a young lad. But I could just be getting older and understanding more how the world works. But it also could mean maybe trying some things I never even thought about. What if I love making pottery, bro? What if I love making candles? Who knows? I mean, I took a ceramics class and it was fine. It was okay. But you know what I mean? Just expanding, doing whatever just like, calls to you during the day. And it could be something small. I just say chase that joy, chase that thing that's like just calling to you. And it could be something super small. And I want to watch the Captain America movies tonight, bro. And you're kind of stoked about it. That's it. That's all you gotta do. And then if you have that feeling with like, bro, I wanna start a TikTok account and talk about conspiracies, bro. And it's like if that's calling to you, just do it, bro. Nothing has to be forever. I do sometimes think people think they start a thing and it's gonna be a forever project. Bro, the amount of projects I've started and I think you could argue wasted time on, but I don't really view it as that. Because it kind of taught me something in the long run. I was like, well, I did that and I understand that that's not for me. So I learned something from it. Or I may have learned a software while doing it if it was like some computer project, or learned a trick um, with some kind of software. There's always something to learn, man. And the only way to learn is to do. And the only way to really learn is to do and see how it kind of sucks. And you're like, bro, I could be better. But you know what's also interesting? I do sometimes think in the moment when we're creating something, at least, I don't know, I feel this way a lot. Um, when you like create a thing and you kind of create it to death and you make it as perfect as it can be for what it is, it'll never be like good enough. You're like, this kind of sucks. So then you might sit on it, right? Which is a curse. But you might sit on it. But you know what's interesting? If you come back to it, like months down the line, years down the line, more times than not, bro, it's more impressive than you remember. I've done that with so many songs I've written where I'm like, well, I captured the moment. This was it. I think it's kind of butt cheeks. And then time passes and I go back and I'm like, bro, what wavelength was I on to write this? This sounds kind of sick. And, I'm kind of gassing myself up, I guess. But I feel like that's good. And I'm not saying it's like crazy good music. I was just, when you look back on old things you've done, it could even be, old videos you've done. You'll see the flaws. And granted, you'll see more flaws in your own stuff than probably most other people can, just because you were there from its inception to, I guess, its death. But you know what I mean, boys? But yeah, I guess I just wanted to talk about, I think the main thing, man, is just don't hesitate. Chase that feeling that kind of feels like excitement. Some people sometimes feel like excitement is anxiety, or anxiety is excitement. And that's just how I view it, man. If you get a little like, ooh, that's just like, it's go time. It's show time. You got to show up and get it done. So don't hesitate, man. Just get out there. Do whatever's calling to you. You never know. And the worst thing like nothing bad can ever happen with that type of stuff. It's really only positive things can happen from trying things and, seeing where it goes, seeing where it doesn't go, and analyzing that. It's all data at the end of the day. We're just gathering data to make this place a little more enjoyable for ourselves. That's all we are. That's all we're here for, right? Before an inevitable fade to black or other things happen. We can get down that a different day. But yeah, hesitation is defeat. Bruh, Sekiro, hype game. So glad I played it last year. I still need to talk about it one of these days because it still crosses my mind. But this morning, that quote just came to me, bro. And I was just like thinking about it. I'm like, bro, that is the thing. Hesitation is defeat. Trying is success. That's it. Sometimes, like, trying and doing the thing feels better than the thing doing well. Sometimes when a thing does well, it can be like perplexing. You're like, how? What was the formula that did this? And then you might be chasing that dragon. It could actually be a curse. So actually, success is just trying and just putting it out there, man. Chase that joy. Hesitation is defeat. Yeah. Let's get it, boy. Do something for yourself today. Do something for someone else today. Let's get it, boy. Take care.